Great. So, good evening. Namaste to all of you. Namaste, Ravi. Am I audible? Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
So, once again, welcome to this beautiful evening, a late evening, right? And today's topic is we'll learn some mudras and some pranayamas which can help to boost up our immunity. Huh? So, before that, still some more people are joining. So, what we'll do is we'll start with 3 rounds of chanting Omkara. So my request all of you to just sit comfortably, keep your back and neck erect, and gently close your eyes. Take your deep breathings, breathe in deeply and breathe out completely. Relax your body, relax your mind. Just breathe in deeply and breathe out completely. With your each incoming and outgoing breath, just feel that your whole body is relaxing, your mind is relaxing. Now let us chant 3 rounds of Omkara. Inhale deeply, inhale. Oh. One more time, inhale. One more time, inhale. Relax. Relax and feel the beautiful resonance of Omkara throughout your body for a while. Now slowly join your hands, rub your palms. Keep your palms on your eyes. Gently give the facial massage, neck massage, and slowly open your eyes looking at your palms. All right. So once again, thank you so much and welcome all of you to this beautiful late evening of Wednesday. I'm not audible to Vandana ji. How many of you are not able to hear me? Am I audible? Can I just see one or two yes in the chat box? Meanwhile, I'll just yes. Okay. So those who are not able to hear me is because of your network issue, Madam Vandana ji. Please check it your network and you can log out and log in again. Sometimes just happens, you know. From my side, everything is fine. All right. And before I start, let me mute everybody. If anybody has to say something, you can unmute yourself and speak. Otherwise, please keep yourself muted so that everybody can listen to me clearly. Right? All right. Some more people are still joining, but we'll not wait. We'll start. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. Okay. So today's topic is immunity boosting mudras and pranayama. We are going to learn two very, very powerful mudras. Before that, I'll also explain what is the mudras actually and how these mudras help us. So two mudras we are going to learn. I'm not going to go in more detail of theory. We'll practice, you know, the practical aspect of everything. Second thing is I'm going to teach you few breathing practices which can increase your lungs capacity. You know, the science and the spirituality, I mean, yoga says that we hardly use 10 to 30% of our lungs capacity, right? So it is not that lungs are not capable. Lungs are capable, but we are not using the capacity of the lungs. So to increase the lungs capacity, we'll learn some breathing practices, and then we'll learn three very important and very powerful pranayamas which can increase our overall health. In fact, not only immunity but overall health can be increased, improved by these pranayamas. So these things we are going to learn today. But before we learn something, we'll start with a small story. Okay, we all love stories, right? So let me tell you one small, beautiful story, and this story is connected with this topic, and that is why I'm talking about this story. So, what is this story? And why this topic today? Why do we need to improve our immunity? We all know that we are in the situation, in the midst of beautiful corona, beautiful corona, I would say, because the corona
Sorry,
has
Sheikh,
taught
sir.
us so many
Sorry,
new
Sheikh.
things, so many new things, right? So sometimes I actually thank corona. Anyway, so a small story. In the medieval era, in European countries, there were small villages, and every village had some masters, some saints who were protecting those villages. Just like we have Gram Devtas here, all the villages will have the Gram Devtas, and these Gram Devtas are assigned to protect that village, that Grama, right? So we have all our villages have Gram Devtas, right? Like that, they had some saints, some masters who used to protect those villages, the border of the villages, they used to protect. So once they saw that three people were trying to enter that village, and these masters stopped them and asked, "Who are you?" The first person said, "I am a disease, a epidemic, or a pandemic, just like corona we have." It said, "I am a corona, or I am some pandemic." And the master asked, "How many people you are going to take with you?" And the pandemic gave one number, maybe 50, 100, 200, or 1000. And master said, "Okay." Then they asked the second person, "Who are you?" The second person says, "I am death. I am death." And the master asked, "How many people you are going to take with you?" Death said one number, maybe 50, 100, or 1000 number. And master said, "Okay." Then they asked the third person, "Who are you?" And that person said, "I am fear. I am fear." And the master asked, "How many people you are going to take with you?" And fear said, "Master, I am not going to take even a single person with me. I'm just accompanying these people. They are my, best friends. The chaddi dost through, we have chaddi dost. Like fear is a chaddi dost of pandemic and death. So fear said, "I'm just their friend and I'm accompanying them. I'm not going to take a single person also." And master said, "Okay." And they were allowed inside. Now, here you need to understand that even if it is a pandemic or it is a death, these are natural processes which cannot be avoided or stopped by anybody, not even the master, because this is a nature, right? Death is a natural process. We all have to die. We all know that one day, whoever has taken birth has to die, right? So, death is a natural process. So, these three people were allowed inside, and after a few days, they were going back. And when they were going back, these masters saw that the pandemic was taking the same number, whatever number it has promised, it is taking the same number of the people. The death also, whatever number it had promised or it has said, it is also taking the same number of people. But to their surprise, many more people were following the fear. And now the masters were annoyed. They said, "You stupid fellow, fear, you're cheating. You said you're not going to take even a single person, but you're taking so many people with you, more than pandemic and death." And the fear said, "Master, please forgive me, please forgive me. Believe me, I am not taking even a single person. They themselves are following me. What can I do?" And masters saw that it was real. The people were following fear on their own. The fear was not taking them. My dear friends, this is the exact situation what we have right now around us. It is not the pandemic which is killing the people. It is not the death which is killing the people. It's a natural process. But more than the reality of pandemic, the more than the reality of the death rate of the pandemic, the fear is killing the more people. Mark my words, the lockdown, according to me, what I feel, is not going to stop this corona. Only one thing can reduce the rate of corona increase. Do you know what is that? The only one thing which can stop or give a small or a big break to corona is they have to stop the news, the spreading news about the corona. If you just stop the news in the media, in the news channels, electronic media, paper media, social media, believe me, within 1 week to 10 days, the rate is going to go down. But nobody listens to this. Nobody listens to this. Nobody understands this. It is just the fear. Just tell me, how can it help you in any way if you just know the number of the people infected today is either 550 or 5,000 or 5 lakhs? Is it going to help you in any way? The only one thing it is doing is it is just creating a fear in your mind. And this fear is the biggest enemy of your immunity. I just told you this story only because the very first thing you have to do to improve your immunity is overcome all your fears. Believe me, मौत का एक दिन मुकर्रर है गालिब, नींद क्यों रात भर नहीं आती. गालिब has said this. मौत का एक दिन मुकर्रर है गालिब, नींद क्यों रात भर नहीं आती. Death has to come one day. We all are going to die. But this fear of death is killing us every day. The fear of death is killing us every day. Corona is there, no doubt about that. Many people we have lost, and those who have lost their near and dear ones, I can understand their pain. Definitely, I can understand their pain. But whoever has to go, it is just Kannadaದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ನೆಪ. It just need one region to go. This life just need one region to go out of this body. It may be corona, it may not be corona. Sometimes we have seen people who have thousands of diseases, but they continue to live in the body with all those thousands of diseases. And we have also seen that a young man, very young fellow also, having no disease at all, sleeps night and morning he or she does not get up only. Doesn't it happen with people around us? We have seen, right? So death is the ultimate truth of this human body. We need to overcome this fear. If you can overcome this fear, this corona, the rate what it is increasing can be reduced, can be controlled, can be given a strong break to it. So the first thing we have to do to improve our immunity is,
Sir, I had one small doubt.
overcome your fears.
Hello.
One day I saw in paper that when the new vaccine came, 103-year-old lady took the vaccine, and the big photo given in the paper with that lady, she has taken the vaccine. My God. Don't you think they have wasted one vaccine? 103 years she has already lived. Now, how many years you want that lady to be on the earth? 1,000 years? Can anybody live? What is the use? Just the marketing of that vaccine. And what is vaccine after all? How many of you know the vaccine? Right? Vaccine is nothing but the same germ they put in that, and they put that same germ. For example, COVID is a germ, and to fight that COVID, what they are doing by putting vaccine in your body is they are putting the a small part of the same germ, so that you can improve your immunity against it, and when it attacks also, it cannot do anything. Right? So anyway, the very first thing you have to do is overcome your fears. If you can overcome your fears, naturally your immunity will rise up. The very first thing you have to do is overcome your fears. Don't get scared of pandemic. Even if you're positive, just take the precautions whatever you have to take. What else you can do? And look at the rate of the recovery. We only look at the 2% people who are dying because of corona. We are not looking at the 98% of the people who are getting recovered by the corona. Right? Just like normal flu, influenza, whatever we have, and we take the medicine, the same medicines doctors are also giving, we are also taking, and people are getting recovered. Look at those 98% people who are getting recovered. If they can get recovered, even if I get the corona or pandemic, I can get recovered easily. Just take the precautions, take the medicines, take the home remedies, and you'll be all right. Other than this, overcoming your fears, there are few tools and techniques all our rishis or our masters have given us. One among them is mudras, and second is, of course, yoga, pranayama, meditation, surya namaskara, all that. In that, few pranayamas we are going to learn today. Practically, we are going to do this, and actually, this session is only for 1 hour. But the stuff I have prepared is, I think, it is for about 2 hours. Meanwhile, I completely agree with you, Jai Krishnaji. Thank you so much. Very true. Only these electronic medias emit negative energy. Very true, sir. Hitesh, sorry to say, nobody has the rights to question anybody's lifespan. As per yoga, a man can live for hundreds of years. That's true, Hitesh. In fact, actually, this body is created. How can we decide who has a right to live? We cannot decide. That's what it is, decided by the destiny or that same person's soul, right? So we cannot definitely decide who has to live how many years. But I was talking about the natural process of the life. Please do not take any of my words very personally. I'm just giving you a normal general my opinion about few things. It is not that if somebody has lived for 103 years, she should not live for 1,000 years. Live. I'm really happy. But what I'm telling is, they are marketing the vaccine in the name of that old lady. I was against spreading the negativity and nothing else. The God has created this body for 120 years. This body can live for 120 years easily without any pain, without any disease, without any problem. If we get the problem, if we get the disease, it is because of our lifestyle, it is because of our environment, and of course, it is because of our past karmas. All right. Let us not go in too much arguments about this. It was just my yes, true, sir. Yes, let's see. Maximum I'll try to, and I think 100 members have already joined. We had only 100. I have only 100 limitations. I tried to put it on YouTube also, but there were some technical problems and I could not give live on the YouTube. And I think maybe some more people are trying to join, but they cannot join because 100 is the limit I have in this. And I did not expect these many people, but because of maybe, lockdown, people are free and they have joined. So thank you so much, all of you who have joined today for this session. So without wasting time, let's get into the practical aspect of today's session. So as I told you, we are going to learn two powerful mudras. Okay, so what are these mudras? Mudras are just hand gestures. Most of you who are from yoga background, you all know that our 5 fingers Yeah, we'll try to cover it maximum and as soon as possible, right? Our five, fingers represent the five elements in our body, right? This whole human body is made up of panch tattvas: prithvi, jala, agni, vayu, akasha: earth, water, air, fire, and space, right? And these five fingers represent these five elements in our body. This is fire, air, space, earth, and water. Earth, water, earth, space, vayu, that is air, and fire. Thumb is fire. So these panch tattvas are represented by the five fingers in our body. And by bringing two fingers together or one finger with one thumb, what we do is we create a kind of circuit in these two elements. And we all know that, or most of us know that, this human body is healthy only because of the balance of these panch tattvas in this body, right? So these, mudras or gestures. Mudras is nothing but, in the yoga what we use is hasta mudras. We call them hasta mudras, hand gestures. To we bring fingers with tip either to the base of the thumb, or we take the tip of the thumb to the base of the finger, or tip to the tip. This is a kind of, for example, most of us, we all know that whenever we do any meditation or anything, if you have done the yoga, this is the chinna mudra, touching the tip of the thumb to the tip of the index finger, other three fingers straight. So this is chinna mudra, right? So like this, we have mudras, and these mudras are nothing but they balance certain elements in our body. This much is enough introduction. I generally conduct a 2-hour session on the mudra therapy, where I teach around 25 different mudras. And after the pandemic has come, hit the world, I've been offering many classes for free, many classes with very minimum charges like 200, 300, 500. And all other classes, what we were charging 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 before pandemic, we have reduced it to 50%, whether it is a mind power class or Reiki class or alchemy, what I teach. Usually we used to charge 3,000, 4,000 before pandemic. After pandemic, we are charging less than 50% for all those classes. So whenever classes are there, you can join. Today here we are going to, as I told you, we are going to learn two mudras. Please keep yourself muted, everybody. Okay, so the first mudra is prana mudra. Very simple, and mudras you can do anytime, anywhere, while walking, while sitting, while sleeping. Anytime you can do these two mudras, prana mudra and sun mudra or surya mudra, we are going to learn today. So what is prana mudra? Very simple. You have to bring the tip of your thumb to the tip of your ring finger and small finger, other two fingers straight. Very simple. This is prana mudra. Very simple to do. You can do this anytime in the day. I request everybody to please keep yourself. Okay. What I'll do is okay. So now you cannot unmute yourself. If you have to say anything, please type in the chat box and I'll get it. Okay. All right. So the first mudra is prana mudra. This is the prana mudra. Touching the tip of your thumb to the tip of your ring finger and small finger, other two fingers straight. Do this anytime. Minimum 10 to 15 minutes in each, stretch. One stretch you can do this. Maximum 40 minutes to 1 hour in a day. In 24 hours, up to 1 hour you can do this. So whenever you're doing walking, whenever you're watching TV, whenever you're free, just adopt this mudra and sit. Prana mudra. Very, very, very powerful mudra. This is the best mudra to increase or improve your immunity. The name itself suggests that prana mudra, it increases the prana in your body. And more the prana in your body, more the life in your body. We are all living only and only because there is prana in this body. Right? If the prana leaves the body, body is gone. So prana is very, very important, and the more the prana, and now we are in the scarcity of the prana vayu only. Oxygen is a prana vayu, right? It's the vehicle for the prana. It is not prana actually, it is the vehicle of the prana, oxygen. And we are in the scarcity of that oxygen. People are dying because of the lack of oxygen, and this will increase the uh, oxygen in the body. This will increase the prana in the body. This will improve your immunity, and this has many other benefits also. Other than improving the immunity, it improves the power of the life. Overall life power will be increased. It improves immunity, improves the power of eyes, and reduces eye related diseases. If you have any problem related to the eye, this will improve your eyesight and reduce the disease of the eye. It removes the vitamin deficiency and fatigue. If you feel very fatigued, very tired, all the time tired, fatigue, just practice this mudra. It also reduces the clamps in blood vessels, and it increases the activeness in your body. If you feel dullness, no mood for doing anything, for all that, this mudra is kind of Ramabana. Just practice this mudra anytime, 40 minutes to 60 minutes in a day. No side effects at all. No side effect at all. So whenever you're free, in a stretch you can do for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Say for example, if you're watching TV, adopt this mudra and sit. Nothing you're going to lose. You're going to get benefited, right? So this is Prana Mudra, very simple to do, and you can practice for about 40 minutes to 60 minutes in a day. It will improve your immunity, it will improve the prana energy in your body, and it will also improve the overall health of your body and also mind. The second mudra what we are going to practice is Surya Mudra, Mudra of Sun. Now this mudra you have to practice carefully. Just practice it around 10 to 15 minutes in a day. And if you are very thin, do not practice this, because this mudra will reduce the weight. If you want to reduce the weight, you can practice this mudra. But if you have high BP, you are supposed to avoid this. This mudra will increase the heat in your body. This mudra will increase the heat in your body. So when it increases the heat, means if you have high BP, it will also increase the BP. But if you have a low BP, you can practice this. If you have heavy weight, you can practice this to reduce your weight also. And definitely it improves your immunity and overall health. It improves immunity, it reduces cholesterol. If you have a cholesterol problem, you can practice this. You can reduce weight by practicing this. I'll teach you how to do this. Okay. It reduces anxiety, helps in healing diabetes. If you're a diabetic, you can practice this. It also corrects the indigestion problem. If you have indigestion problem, you can practice this. Helps in maintaining the metabolism of the body, and it sharpens the thyroid problem, thyroid gland. So if you have thyroid problems also, you can practice this mudra, Surya Mudra. So how to do this? It's very simple. Ring finger is Prithvi Tattva. You have to bring the tip of the ring finger to the base of the thumb and press the thumb on it. Other three fingers straight. Very simple. Fold the ring finger and bring the tip of the ring finger to the base of the thumb and press the thumb on it. Other three fingers straight. Both the sides. Both hands. And you can also practice this with one hand also. But preferably, it is better if you practice with both the hands at a time together. But if you're doing some work with one hand and one hand is free, you can practice with one hand also, no problem. This is also a wonderful mudra. You can practice 10 to 15 minutes in a day, 24 hours. Just practice this for 10 to 15 minutes, not more than that. If you have high BP, please avoid this. Do not do this. Only practice Prana Mudra. That will help you a lot. If you have a very thin body, avoid this, because you'll become more thin if you practice this. This will increase the heat in your body. But if you have cholesterol, you can mute your videos, everyone. Yeah, everyone's video is muted. Don't worry. Okay, so very simple, folding the ring finger and bringing the tip of the ring finger to the base of the thumb and pressing the thumb on it. Other three fingers straight, both the sides. Surya Mudra, Mudra of Sun. This also improves the immunity, overall health. It helps in metabolism. It helps to reduce your, control your diabetes, cholesterol, and it also reduces your anxiety. It also reduces your health, the indigestion problem. If you have indigestion problem, if you have constipation, this is wonderful mudra for that, right? But if you have high bp, you have to avoid this. If you are too much get angry, anger is your problem, please avoid this. You'll become more angry. That's why I tell, I tell my wife not to practice this, because I am the victim. I'll be the victim if my wife practice this, right? Just on the lighter note. All right. So these are the two mudras you can practice regularly. What you can do is just practice prana mudra for about 15 to 20 minutes every day, and Surya mudra for about 10 minutes every day. This will drastically improve your immunity. If you have common cold, cough, a sneezing problem, all that will get reduced by just practicing these two mudras regularly. Surya mudra, prana mudra. Prana mudra has no side effect at all. Anybody can practice this. The Surya mudra is only those who have high bp, high rise, anger, or too thin. You have to avoid this. Others all can practice this mudra also. So 10 minutes Surya mudra, about 20 minutes prana mudra every day can improve your immunity drastically. Sure. So I'll again show you the slides. You can take a screenshot if you want, or you can make some notes also. So this is the, fingers corresponding of different elements, 5 fingers. As I told you, small finger Jala Tattva, that is water. Ring finger Prithvi Tattva, that is earth. Middle finger Akash Tattva, that is sky. Index finger is Vayu Tattva, air element, and thumb is Agni Tattva, fire element. You can take a screenshot of this. Then this is the prana mudra, very simple to adopt, touching the tip of your thumb to the tip of your small and ring finger, other two fingers straight. Prana mudra. You can also take the screenshot of this, or if you want, you can take a click photo of this. The benefits: it improves the immunity, improves the prana in your body, improves eyesight, eye related problems will be healed. It removes the vitamin deficiency and fatigue. If you feel too much tired, too much, low in energy, you can practice this. It also reduces the clamps in your blood vessels, and it increases the activeness in the body. Next is Surya Mudra, Mudra of Sun. Very simple to practice, bringing the ring finger to the base of the thumb and pressing the thumb on it, other 3 fingers straight. You can take the screenshot of this also if you want. And these are the benefits of Surya Mudra. It improves immunity, of course. It reduces cholesterol in body and helps in reducing weight. If you are heavy weight, if you want to reduce your weight, you can practice this mudra. It reduces anxiety, but if you get too much angry, then you have to avoid this. If you have high BP, you have to avoid this. It helps in healing diabetes, corrects indigestion, digestive system problems, constipation. It also helps in maintaining the metabolism of the body, and it sharpens the thyroid glands. There are many other mudras also for thyroid gland, but this also helps to improve the functioning of the thyroid gland. So these are the 2 mudras you can practice to improve your immunity. The main focus of this today's class is improving your immunity, right? So these are the 2 mudras. All right. Now the breathing practices. These are the breathing practices which will help you to increase your lungs capacity. right? So these are the four breathing practices we are going to learn. After this, we'll learn the pranayamas. So what are these four breathing practices? First is pursed lip breathing. Second is diaphragmatic breathing. Third is candle blow exercise and balloon exercise. These are all breathing exercises, can be practiced at night as it may awaken. Uh, See, if you are doing it in limit, you can, yes, practice. Even Surya Mudra, you can practice at night also. Because night, if you activate the Surya, and in fact, actually, you have to activate the Surya Nadi at the night. And that is why we sleep towards our left. We generally say in yoga that you have to sleep on your left side so that your right nostril become active, the Surya Nadi becomes active, and when the Surya Nadi becomes active, actually all the diseases you can avoid to come in the body. We'll talk about that at the end. Maybe I have added on the add-on benefits. So I'll talk about that if the time permits. So pursed lip breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, candle blow exercise, and balloon exercise. Let us learn these one by one. So what is this pursed lip breathing? Very simple. You have to inhale deeply and gently through your nose for 2 counts. Just inhaling 1, 2. 2 counts, just inhale and then open your mouth little bit, purse your lips and exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 counts. 2 counts you're inhaling through the nose and 4 counts you're exhaling through the pursed lips, through the mouth, making hissing or whistling sound. Just like, when you blow a whistle, you might have practiced that during your college days. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ವಿಸಿಲ್ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಟಿ ಹೊಡೆದಿದ್ದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೂ. ವಿ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ಅಟ್ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಟಿ ಹೊಡೆಯೋದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಲೈಟರ್ ನೋಟ್, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. But and I think that is why men, the immunity of men is more than women. Maybe because we have been practicing from the college days whistling. Just on the lighter note again. So it's very simple. You have to inhale 2 counts through the nose and exhale for 4 counts through the mouth, with pursed lips, with hissing sound or whistling sound, just like. Get it? 2 and 4 is a ratio. So if you are inhaling for 4 count, you have to exhale for 8 counts. Say for example 1, 2, 3, 4. If you are inhaling, then 8 count you have to exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While counting I cannot exhale, so I'll just exhale. Either like this or just hissing. This is pursed lip breathing. What does this lip breathing do? This will increase the capacity of your lungs. Very simple. You can repeat this for 8 to 10 times. Can you just do once or twice right now? Can you just all of you can do? Just inhale from the nose, 1, 2, and exhale from the mouth, keeping your mouth, lips pursed, something like this, or either hissing sound or whistling sound. Just breathe out. So if you are inhaling for 4 count, exhale for 8 count. Yes, while practicing everything, you have to close your eyes right now, because I am demonstrating and you are also doing it. You can keep your eyes open, but after this session, when you're practicing at home, keep your eyes closed. Whenever you practice any pranayama meditation, unless and until it is not advised to keep your eyes open, you have to keep your eyes closed. Even while doing pranayama, any pranayama, or while doing any meditation, we generally close our eyes. So when you close your eyes, you keep the whole energy within you. You do not let the energy go out. You do not let the mind go out. So you have to practice with closed eyes. But here you can keep your eyes open and see and practice. Okay. So this is pursed lips breathing. Very simple. You have to inhale from nose and exhale from mouth, keeping your mouth or lips pursed and with hissing sound or whistling sound, something like. You get that? Very simple. Just 8 to 10 times repeat this. This will increase your lungs capacity. Let us go to the next practice. While I'm explaining, you can keep practicing and you can move further. So this is pursed lip breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, very, very, very important breathing. Just see this picture. It's very simple. It's also known as belly breathing. What we do here is you have to inhale from nose, right? And exhale only from the nose. But when you inhale, you have to bulge your stomach. It's a kind of Ujjayi, but the sound is little different. You know, in Ujjayi has two. One is Ujjayi normal breathing with regular sound, hissing sound, and second Ujjayi is we contract the throat and produce that sound. And while breathing in, we produce that sound, right? In Ujjayi pranayama. And here, while breathing out, we produce the sound. I'm sorry. So I was talking about diaphragmatic breathing. What we do in diaphragmatic breathing is you have to inhale and bulge your stomach so that the air gets filled. Of course, in the lungs, it does not go in the stomach. But when you bulge your stomach, your diaphragm goes down. When your diaphragm goes down, the lungs increases its size and the more air is filled in the lungs. So when you breathe, you have to breathe in deeply and bulge your stomach. And when you breathe out, stomach has to go in and you have to completely breathe out. For this, what you can do is you can just keep your one hand on the chest, the other hand on the stomach, right? Stomach like this. Okay. And breathe in, and just feel that the stomach is bulging up. When you're breathing in, say for example, I'm breathing. Now, can you see I'm doing it wrong? Because my chest is expanding. Chest should not get expanded. It should not expand. Your stomach has to expand. So what you have to do is, now see again. Now my stomach is bulging. Can you see? My stomach has gone in, and now, can you see? Stomach is bulging like a balloon. And when you breathe out, stomach is going in. Breathing in, stomach bulges, and breathing out, stomach goes in. As simple as that. Belly breathing, it is also known as belly breathing. You're breathing in the belly. Actually, you're not breathing in the belly, but you're expanding your belly so that the lungs has the more space to expand and the more oxygen or more air can be inhaled, right? So when you inhale, you have to bulge your stomach, and when you exhale, you have to pull your stomach in and exhale completely. If you have undergone any recent surgery, let me give you general instruction because many questions are coming here. If you have undergone any recent surgery, if you have any health issues in general, maybe high BP, maybe you're highly diabetic, maybe you have some heart issues or any other diseases, please consult some yoga practitioner, regular yoga practitioner, or your yoga teacher. These are the practices which I am teaching here are very general practices which can be practiced almost by everybody. But if you have any issues, if you have undergone surgery, recent surgeries within 3 to 6 months, recent surgeries, or if you have high BP, high cholesterol, heart diseases, and other complications in your health, please consult your yoga teacher, yoga instructor, or yoga therapist, or your doctor and practice. These are all general practices which I am teaching to the general people, because now I cannot, see individually that what are the problems you have, right? It's a part of yes, sectional breathing. In sectional breathing, if I keep on answering all the question, it'll take a long time, sir. In sectional breathing, we do all the sectional breathing. The abdominal breathing, thoracic breathing, clavicular breathing, and full yogic breathing. Here we are doing only the abdominal breathing. You can call it abdominal breathing only. The belly breathing, abdominal breathing, or it is also known as diaphragmatic breathing. Here we are doing only this one breathing, and we are not including other breathing like the thoracic breathing, clavicular breathing, and the full yogic breathing, right? Only belly. So you have to inhale. See that your belly is bulging up, and when you exhale, your belly is going in. ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಳುವಾಗ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಉಬ್ಬಬೇಕು, ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ಹೊರ ಬಿಡುವಾಗ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ known as diaphragmatic breathing. Almost can be practiced by everybody, but if you have ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯೋಗ ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯೋಗ ಥೆರಪಿಸ್ಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಕನ್ಸಲ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ yes, I'll show you the slide also. You can see in this photo, you are inhaling, your belly is coming out. When you exhale, belly goes in. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ इनहेल ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, एक्सेल ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. जब आप सांस को अंदर भरते हैं तो पेट फूलना चाहिए, जब आप सांस को बाहर छोड़ते हैं तो पेट अंदर जाएगा. It's very simple. This is known as diaphragmatic breathing. You can do this 8 to 10 rounds minimum, or even more also. If you do this, has no side effect at all. You can easily do this for about 20-30 rounds also, no issues at all. You can definitely do this. So this is diaphragmatic breathing. And here you need not count. Okay, just breathe in fully and breathe out completely. If you want count, you can just count how much you can breathe in, and breathing out should be longer than breathing in. Always, in almost all the pranayamas, generally I'm talking not about some particular pranayama. Generally, whatever breathing practices you do, breathing in should be lesser than breathing out. So breathing in, if it is 4 count, breathing out should be 6 count. Breathing in is 10 counts, breathing out is around 15 counts. Always in all the breathing practices. Here you do not count, just breathe in fully, bulge stomach, and breathe out completely, and see that the stomach is going in, shrinking in. So this is diaphragmatic breathing. Now this practice, balloon exercise, very simple. You can take a balloon just like you blow the balloon. Even blowing a balloon increases your lungs capacity. It's very simple. You have to inhale from your nose, and as if you have a balloon in your hand, hold the balloon in your hand and just blow the balloon as if you're trying to blow the whole balloon in one single breath. You can literally take a balloon and practice this, or you can just imagine that you have a balloon in your hand. Breathe in from your nose, and as if you have a balloon in your hand, blow the air in the balloon to make sure that you're blowing the balloon fully, or you're breathing out fully, just like this. Right? So what you're doing here is you're putting some pressure to breathe out. Breathing in is normal. When you breathe out, when you have to blow a balloon, what do? You put little pressure to blow out, right? When you're blowing a balloon, you have to put little pressure to blow out, to breathe out. That is what you're doing. Either imaginary you can do it, or you can literally take a balloon and do it. Again, 8 to 10 rounds, 8 to 10 times. Just blow the balloon, empty the balloon, and then again inhale. You get that? As if you're blowing a whole balloon in one single breath. Just inhale and blow the balloon. You're putting little pressure, little power to your breathing out. This is how we blow the balloon. Very simple. This will also increase your lungs capacity. Blowing the balloon exercise, or balloon exercise is known as. Did you get this? Very simple. Breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth, making a ha sound like this. Or you can literally take a balloon and blow the air in the balloon. Make sure that you're breathing out with pressure and breathing out completely to blow the whole balloon in one single breath. This is balloon exercise. This will also increase your lungs capacity. As I told you, we are using hardly 10 to 30% of our lungs capacity, what God has given us. We can improve that, and these are the exercises which helps to improve that lungs capacity. Next is candle blow exercise. We have all celebrated our birthdays, or at least if we have not celebrated, we have celebrated the birthdays of our kids, right? Very simple. This is just like blowing the candle. What you have to do here is take in deep breath through the nose and then exhale through the mouth to blow out the candle. You can light up 2 or 3 candles and try to blow them in one single breath. Very simple. Just take 2 or 3 candles and keep them around 6 inches to 1 feet away from you, and inhale, and you have to blow the candles in one single breath, just like this. And see that all the candles are extinguished, they are put off. ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಹಚ್ಚಬೇಕು, 2 ಅಥವಾ 3 ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ನ ಊದಬೇಕು. ಊದುವಾಗ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಹೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ನೋಸ್, ಮೂಗಿಂದ ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ತಗೋತೀರಿ, ಬಾಯಿಂದ ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ಹೊರಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಬಾಯಿಂದ ಉಸಿರನ್ನ ಹೊರಬಿಡುವಾಗ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಆರಿಸೋ ತರ ನೀವು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬ್ರೀದ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೀದ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ವಿಶಿಂಗ್ all 2 or 3 candles in one single breath. Simple. All the exercises what I'm teaching now are good for all the kids, and kids will enjoy to do this. Just give them the balloons and tell them to blow them, and they'll enjoy blowing them. Put on the candles and tell them to blow all the candles at a time, and it can be a game at your home. Now we have a lockdown in Bangalore, also in all over the Karnataka, so you have a lot of time. You can spend time with your kids also, and you can teach all these practices to your kids. Kids can do over the age of 8 years, 10 years and above. Kids can practice. Below 8 years, all these practices are not required because they are naturally breathing in and out enough for them, right? Above the 8 years of age, they can all practice this, and you can sit with them and you can play these all practices as game. You can enjoy this, and also while playing, you can increase the capacity of your lungs. Simple. 8 years kid can do, yes, 8 years and above, 8 years and above. And do not force them, let them playfully do it. Kids can do it playfully, they'll enjoy. Anyway, kids enjoy to blow the balloon, and if you put the candles also, they'll enjoy to blow them. And you have to give them the the challenge that if you blow in one single breath, you'll get some chocolate or something. You can bribe them sometimes to make some good use of them, some to teach them something good, right? And it can be a game also. You'll enjoy it and they can learn it. 8 years and above can practice it happily, not forcibly. Don't force kids to practice anything. Make it playful. Okay, so these are the 4 practices for increasing the lungs capacity. Now let us learn some pranayamas. Today we are going to learn Brahmari pranayama, most of you know. Omkara pranayama is most of you know. Mudra pranayama, those who have attended my classes, they know. And those who are from S Vyasa background, they all know that we have been doing this sectional breathing, Vibhagya Swasana. The same thing here, we adopt the same mudras. The last mudra is different, and we do this with count. We are not focusing on the different parts of the body, but we are breathing in and out normal with the count and with the mudra. So I'll teach you that. Mudra pranayama, this is a very powerful mudra, powerful pranayama to increase your immunity and to increase the overall health of your body and mind. So these are the 3 pranayama we are going to practice. So before that, you understood all these, right? So the pursed lip breathing, you understood, diaphragmatic breathing, candle blow exercise, and balloon exercise. Like there are many other practices we have, but these 4 practices you can happily, while enjoying, you can do these, and these things will increase your capacity. All the practices 8 to 10 times you can do in one single stretch, minimum 8 to 10 times. Maximum, if you have the more capacity, 15 to 20 times also you can do, but not recommended. 8 to 10 times is generally recommended for everybody. You can practice this, all the practices 8 to 10 times, and playful, happily do this. Now, Brahmari Pranayama. Oh, I'll take some extra time, okay? So maybe half an hour we may extend it. It's already 10. My God. So Brahmari Pranayama, Omkara chanting, and Mudra Pranayama. These 3 pranayama we are going to learn. For Brahmari Pranayama, 3 things you have to keep it in mind. First is Khechari Mudra, second is Shanmukhi Mudra, and third is making the Nakara sound. It is not Ma, it is Na. This is the sound we have to produce. This is a honeybee sound. These are the 3 points we have to keep in mind. So let us understand what is, and this Khechari Mudra and Shanmukhi Mudra are not compulsory, but if you practice, if you adopt them, it will be add-on benefits. Okay. All right. So first mudra is, and Brahmari Pranayama. Recently, you might have seen some videos on the YouTube and social media also. It was going that when you practice Brahmari Pranayama, it increases the nitric acid or nitric oxide in the nasal passage, and which is good, or which kills the external bacteria or viral infections. So Brahmari Pranayama is wonderful pranayama for fighting this corona or any viral infection like corona. Brahmari Pranayama. So Khechari Mudra. What is this Khechari Mudra? Nitric oxide. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Nitric oxide. So it increases the nitric oxide in the nasal passage, and which helps to kill these bacteria, whatever we get, or by which we get the viral infection. So Khechari Mudra, it's very simple. You have to roll your tongue up and touch the tip of the tongue to the palate. Up and touch the tip of your tongue to the palate. This becomes Khechari Mudra. This is known as Khechari Mudra in yoga. You may, if you don't know the name also, that's fine. Just roll the tongue up and touch the tip of the tongue to the palate. This Khechari Mudra also, if you practice in the spiritual, lore, this has many spiritual benefits. If you can adopt the Khechari Mudra properly, you can live without having food for many days. Because this Khechari Mudra, now I'm going in more details, I should not go actually, but anyway, this Khechari Mudra creates, the secretion, a kind of secretion from the Kapala. It is known as Kapala Amruta, which gets secreted from your pineal gland, and of course, and that Amruta, if this much also, if you can secrete naturally, which is very difficult to practice actually. We just try to adopt the Khechari Mudra. We do not perfectly adopt the Khechari Mudra, but it gives us the benefits a little bit at least. Perfect Khechari Mudra is you have to completely roll your tongue up and take it completely back and touch near that, we have that, what we have, that Kirunalge we call now in the throat. There you have to take and touch it. It's very difficult, but just try to practice. Just roll your tongue up and try to take as back as possible and try to touch to the palate. That is enough. If you can do this, you can do this. If you want to skip this, you can skip this also. This is not compulsory. First thing. Second is Shanmukhi Mudra. Now, what is this Shanmukhi Mudra? Very simple. You have to close your ears, eyes, nose, and mouth. The 7 doors on your face. You know, this body is of 9 doors. The master says 7 doors are on the face and 2 doors are number 1 and number 2. What we do? These are the 9 doors on the body. 7 doors you have to close. So what we do, if you cannot practice this also, just close your ears. We have the outer lobe of the ear here. Just press this with your thumb. All 4 fingers fold and press your outer lower lobe of the ear inside. And when you press this inside, your ears will get closed. The next is index finger. We keep it on our eyebrows or on the eyes or on the eyebrows here. The middle finger, we keep it on the nose. The ring finger, we keep it on the upper lip, and the small finger, we keep it on the lower lip, below the lower lip. So this is Shanmukhi Mudra. Okay. So if you can adopt this also, fine. If you cannot adopt the whole Shanmukhi Mudra, at least just hold your thumbs like this, hands like this, and just close your ears. Even this is also enough. Closing the ears, when you close the ears and produce that sound, humming sound, you'll hear that sound within your kapala, within your brain, and throughout your body also. So Khechri Mudra you can adopt, Shanmukhi Mudra you can adopt. After adopting Khechri Mudra and Shanmukhi Mudra, you have to inhale from nose, exhaling also from the nose, but inhalation is normal. When you exhale, you have to chant or you have to produce the sound of honey bee, just like this. Simple. This is the sound you have to produce. 8 to 10 rounds you have to do. Let's do all together 1 or 2 rounds now, and then we'll go further. It's very simple. You can adopt Khechri Mudra first. Roll your tongue up and try to touch your tongue to the palate. And close your ears. If you can adopt the Shanmukhi Mudra, adopt the Shanmukhi Mudra. And you have to inhale and exhale through the nose. And when you exhale, you have to produce the sound of honeybee, that is Nakara. Clear? Just do it. Just 2 or 3 times I'll do, and you can also do it with me. And if you're not able to adopt the Khechri Mudra, Shanmukhi Mudra also, okay, no problem. Just close your ears and produce the sound. Let's do it. Clear? Any doubt in this? Very simple. If you're not able to do this also, Khechri Mudra also, just close your ears, inhale, and while exhaling, just chant. Very clear? If you have any doubt about this, both mudras together simultaneously we have to do. Yes, both mudras together, Khechri Mudra and Shanmukhi Mudra, both mudras together we practice. Okay. Yes, sir. Small tongue and uvula, you call it, right? Yeah. Thank you so much. Somebody is saying that it should insert the gap. Tongue should be long, sir. Tongue, everybody has the same size. Okay. When you adopt Khechri Mudra, see, those who are regular meditators, when you go in deep meditative state, this Khechri Mudra, Bhuchari Mudra, all mudras are naturally adopted by your body without your awareness. Without your awareness, if you go to that meditative state, because when you're in meditation, you know, the complete control is taken over by your higher self, and your higher self knows what has to be done at what time. Here, whatever practice we do, we are trying to get connected with our higher self. Once you're connected to your higher self, you need not do anything. Everything will be naturally done. Everything will be naturally done. Right? So it's very powerful practice. So this is why na sound. Na sound is because na is honeybee sound, and that's the sound. You know, the m sound comes from the different part of your throat, and n sound comes from the different part of your throat, and the n sound creates some vibration in your body. This whole body or the whole universe is nothing but the reverberation of different sounds, the kind of sounds, right? Everything is sound. Sound is energy. Energy is everything, and we are all made up of energy. So different sound creates different kind of vibration in our body, and this n sound creates such a vibration which, you know, secretes the nitric oxide, as now the science is saying. But otherwise the yogis have been saying that just by producing this sound, many of your psychological problem, psychosomatic problem, and many your, you know, the depression, fear, phobias, all will get reduced, all will settle down naturally. Just practice this Brahmari Pranayama 8 to 10 rounds. Morning 8 to 10 rounds, afternoon 8 to 10 rounds, evening 3 times in a day you can do this, or in single stretch you can do 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maximum up to 15 minutes also you can do this in one single stretch. All the practices you have to practice only empty stomach condition, that is, after having food immediately you are not supposed to practice any pranayama. It is only before having food you have to practice empty stomach. After 2 to 3 hours of your lunch, dinner, whatever you have taken food, after that 2 to 3 hours, or early morning is always better before having your breakfast or any food. All right, so this is Brahmari Pranayama. I'll go little fast so that we can cover up two more things. Omkara chanting, we'll just do this one time, and Mudra Pranayama will take around 5 to 7 minutes or maximum 10 minutes, and 2 to 3 minutes we'll practice this Omkara chanting. Hardly 15 minutes I'm going to take now. Okay, so the second is Omkara chanting. Om we have been all chanting regularly, but here what you have to do is Om. If I have to speak about Om, the secret of Om, I have been taking one whole class where I have spoken 1 to 1.5 hours, and that is the minimum time required to tell little bit about Om. So I'm not going to go in more details about Om. We'll just talk about how to chant. Om has 3 letters in it, A, U, Ma, and finally silence, right? 3.5 letters we call it. So when you chant A, you have to take your awareness to the navel and feel the resonance of Akara in the navel center. When you chant U, take your awareness to the heart center and feel the resonance of Ukara in the heart center. When you chant Ma, take your awareness to the third eye center here and feel the resonance of the Makara in the third eye center. And finally is the silence. And the whole practice of Om is to reach that silence, that Parabrahma we call it, right? So you have to feel the silence here, and then again when you chant Om, again I'm repeating, don't worry. I'll show you also. Say for example, let me practically show you. Okay, just see it once. Okay. this is how we chant. Okay, when you chant you have to take your awareness to the navel center. That is, you have closed your eyes, your mind you're taking to the navel center. Let me explain it one more time. Right now I was taking hand to show you. You're not supposed to take your hand like this. Okay, you have to take your awareness to your navel center when you're chanting akara, and navel, heart, and ajna chakra. This actually long explanation. You might have heard those from who are from yoga background. You all know about the three granthis: Brahma Granthi, Rudra Granthi. Brahma Granthi, Vishnu Granthi, and Rudra Granthi. So these three granthis are addressed by doing this. Right? So let us not go in much details about this. Just let us practice all together. 3 rounds of Omkara. This time, when you're chanting take your awareness to the navel center. Chanting U, take your navel to the awareness to the heart center. Ma, take your awareness to the third eye center, and silence you have to feel here, and then again take your awareness to the navel center when you start chanting Akara again. Okay, let's practice. And all the practices, keep your back and neck erect and do this. Should we do Om chanting during breathing out? Yes, during breathing out, we chant Omkara, because when you're breathing in, you cannot chant anything. When you're breathing in, you cannot talk. When you have to talk, you're whatever word you're living out, you're breathing out. While breathing in, you cannot talk at all, right? That's a natural process. All right. Don't say wonderful session now only, because we still have 10 minutes time, 10-15 minutes. We are still going to extend this. So yeah, let's chant 3 rounds of Omkara now. Sit comfortably, keep your back and neck erect, eyes closed, and inhale. Take your awareness to the navel center. One more time, inhale. One more time, inhale. Slowly, you can open your eyes. So this is how we have to chant Omkara. Omkara is also, we can do Omkara Dhyana. We also call it Omkara Pranayama or Pranava Pranayama. Pranava Dhyana, you can call it by any name. There are different ways to do this, but the simplest way to chant Omkara is this. And the wonderful way, you have to take your awareness to your navel center when you're chanting Akara. Ukara is this, and Makara is here, and feel the silence here. Okay, and you can practice this minimum 5 times, maximum as much as time you have. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, anything is okay. So just Omkara chanting. This also helps you to increase your overall, body health and health of the mind. Just practice these 3 pranayamas also. If you practice regularly, you can avoid many diseases coming to the body. It is as simple as that. So this is Omkara chanting. Clear? So first we did Brahmari pranayama, second is Omkara chanting, and third is Mudra pranayama. I'm going to explain this to you, and this we'll do this with count. Okay, I'll give you the count. I'll explain this first. I'll give you the count, and we'll all do this for about 5 to 7 minutes. Before that, more tips. I'll also talk about this. Few more tips you can, to improve your lungs capacity. Before that, a small commercial break. Within 1 minute, I'll finish this. I have 2 hours workshop. I'm going to do this coming Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Cosmic shielding, where you can protect yourself. I'm going to teach you how to protect yourself from all kinds of negativity. Negativity right now we have around us because of this situation, and all other negativities, like when you go to the people who are negative in nature, when you go to some places which is negative or which has negative energy there, when you have when you go to some people who are very dominating to you, and you can you cannot withstand their negativity, right? And many psychic attacks like the evil eye, psychic attacks, and so many things we have. How you can protect yourself from all this negativity through this cosmic shielding, I am going to teach in these 2 hours. And practically I am going to protect all of you, and you can protect yourself and your family from all kinds of negativity by this cosmic shielding. So this is happening on this coming Saturday, that is 1st of May, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. online. The fees for this is 300 rupees, only 300 rupees you are going to pay, and you're going to learn all these things: cosmic prayers, how to do the cosmic prayer, how to create the protection shield. We are also going to do yin yang meditation. We are also going to learn cords cutting technique, wonderful technique to disconnect yourself from the negative people, or a closing technique, or a energizing technique, pyramid technique, and many other techniques I am going to teach you. If anybody wants to learn this or wants to participate in this, and if you're not yet registered, you just have to make the payment of 300 rupees through Google Pay, Paytm, or phone pay to this number 9886922501. You can take the screenshot of this. You have all my details. I also have a YouTube channel by name Vimal Jain the Alchemist, Facebook page Vimal Jain the Alchemist, Instagram page Vimal Jain the Alchemist. Please do like my Facebook page, follow my Instagram page, and do subscribe my YouTube channel. And if you want to email me, you can email me on this email address, vimalimsa@gmail.com. This is my website, which is a little under construction. I myself creating this. I am in search of some technical help also. So you can take a screenshot of this. This is a small commercial break over. And now we are going to practice mudra pranayama. So let me explain this mudra pranayama. Can we do prana mudra while doing pranayama? Yes, you can practice pranayama with prana mudra. Of course, you can do this. This will be a double, benefit for all of you. So prana mudra you can do while doing any other pranayama, but for mudra pranayama, we practice 4 different mudras. We all know this is Chinna mudra. Okay, let me show you the mudras. So first we practice Chinna mudra or Dhyana mudra, Jnana mudra. This is known as, right? We all know this, Chinna mudra. The next is Chinmay mudra. Chinmay mudra is you fold same Chin mudra, fold 3 fingers and fold it in the palm. This is Chinmay mudra. Okay, Chin mudra, Chinmay mudra. Third mudra is Adi mudra. Just tuck your thumb in and fold your all the 4 fingers. It becomes Adi mudra. And the 4th mudra we are going to practice is Meru Danda mudra or thumbs up mudra. Very simple. Keeping your thumbs up and folding all fingers. Thumbs up mudra. Once you adopt mudra, you have to keep your palms on your thighs, palm facing upward. In Chin mudra also, Chinmay mudra also, Adi mudra also, and thumbs up mudra or Merudanda mudra, we keep our palms like this on the thighs. Okay, first thing. So these are the 4 mudras we are going to practice in mudra pranayama: Chin mudra, Chinmay mudra, Adi mudra, and Merudanda mudra. And after adopting this, we practice inhalation, Antara Kumbhaka, that is holding the breath within, exhalation, that is Rechaka, and Bahya Kumbhaka, that is holding the breath outside. We are going to do this with very minimum count, that is 4:4:6:2. 4 counts you have to breathe in, 4 counts you have to hold in, 6 count you have to breathe out, and 2 count holding outside. Breathing in, that is Puraka, holding in, that is Antarakumbhaka, exhaling or breathing out, that is Rechaka, and holding out for 2 counts, that is Bahya Kumbhaka. Antarkumbhaka, Bahya Kumbhaka, Puraka, and Rechaka. Inhalation, exhalation. 4:4:6:2. Now, this practice also almost everybody can practice, but if you have any health complications, you can consult your yoga practitioner or yoga teacher or yoga therapist and do this. Those who do not have any problem, simple normal high BP but it is under control, low BP under control with medicine or whatever. If you are diabetic, if you have cholesterol, everybody can practice this. Only if you have heart related problem, if you have asthma problem, if you have undergone any recent surgeries, please consult your yoga therapist and do this. Others all can practice this. Very simple. What you have to do is, I'll give you the count. First, we'll adopt the chin mudra. You have to keep your back and neck erect and keep the palms on your thighs. Then I'll start giving you the count. With my count, you have to inhale. For example, I'll start counting. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Till 4 you have to inhale. Then hold, 2, 3, 4. These 4 counts you have to hold your breath within. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 counts you have to breathe out and hold, 2. 2 counts you have to hold out. Then again inhale and 2, 3, 4. When I count, you have to keep inhaling. When I say hold, just hold your breath for the 4 count. I'll give you the count. And then breathe out 6 count and holding outside 2 counts. Okay. So this is Mudra Pranayama. First we'll adopt Chinna Mudra. Practice it for about 3 times. We'll do it. You can practice this at home around 5 to 8 rounds with one mudra. Then change the mudra again 5 to 8 rounds. Change the mudra again 5 to 8 rounds, and change the mudra again 5 to 8 rounds. And finally, you can end with a small meditation. Okay. So we shall all do it together now for about normal breathing. No Ujjayi breathing here. Very normal breathing. Okay. In Mudra Pranayama, normal breathing we are doing. If you're sitting on chair also, you can keep your legs open, or even if they are crossed, no problem. The only thing you have to keep in mind when you're practicing pranayama is keep your back and neck erect. Just sit erect. Sit straight but not stiff. Because when we tell you to sit straight, many people, they just stiff their body. Don't relax. Keep your body calm and relaxed. Straight but not stiff. Straight and relaxed. The correct word is straight. Keep your body straight and relaxed, not stiff. Okay. So keep your body straight. Let's practice this. Okay. Let's practice. Sit comfortably now. This is the last practice. We are going to do this next 5 to 10 minutes. We are going to end the session. Okay, let's practice all together. Sit comfortably. Keep your back and neck erect. Even if you're sitting on the chair, you can cross your legs also. You can keep your legs open also. Better when you practice any pranayama or meditation, not to keep legs directly on the floor. You can keep something beneath your feet. Maybe some cotton cloth, woolen cloth, or wooden plank you can keep directly on the floor. Do not keep your legs. Okay. But right now, if you don't have anything, it's okay. But when you practice regularly, see that you have something beneath your feet. All right, let's practice now. So first, adopt Chin Mudra and keep your palms on your thighs. Keep your back and neck erect and close your eyes. I'll just give you the count and just follow my instruction and do it. Close your eyes. Just take 1 or 2 deep breathings, normal breathings. Just 1 or 2 deep and normal breathing. And now we'll start Mudra Pranayama. Mudra you have already adopted, Chin Mudra. I'll start the counting and you have to follow my instructions. So now inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2, inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold 2. Relax, just relax, normal breathing. And now change the mudra from Chin Mudra to Chinmay Mudra. Fold all 3 fingers. Chinmay Mudra. Again, keep it on your thighs. Keep your breathing normal. And now again with count. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. Relax. Just relax. Normal breathing. Just normal breathing. 1 or 2 normal breathings. And now change the mudra from Chinmay Mudra to Adi Mudra. Tuck your thumb in, fold all the 4 fingers. Keep your palms on your thighs, palm facing upward again. Keep your eyes closed. Normal breathing. And now breathing with counts. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 2. Relax. Just relax. Normal breathing. Just normal breathing. And now change the mudra. Thumbs up mudra or Merudanda mudra. Keep your thumbs up, all the 4 fingers folded, and keep your thumbs up on the thighs. Normal breathing, keep your eyes closed. And now breathing with count. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2. Relax. Just relax. Normal breathing. You can change your hand mudra also to Chin Mudra again or Jnana Mudra, Dhyana Mudra. Just keep your eyes closed and observe your breathing for some time. You have practiced this Mudra Pranayama 3 counts or 3 rounds with each mudra. You can practice this Mudra Pranayama at home with each mudra 5 times, 8 times, 10 times also. As much as you have time, you can practice. Just observe your breathing. Very natural, normal breathing. Do not manipulate your breathing now. Let the breathing happen on its own. Just observe your breathing for some time. After practicing Mudra Pranayama, you can continue with meditation as long as you have time, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even more. Now we'll end the session. Bring your hands in Namaskara Mudra. Let us end the session with an Omkara and 3 Shanti. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently rub your palms. Keep your palms on your eyes. Gently give the facial massage, neck massage. Massage your shoulders and arms. You can touch your whole body with love. When feeling fresh, happy, healthy, active, energetic, slowly open your eyes looking at your palms. All right. So, thank you so much for attending this session. Hope you all learned something new, or maybe you might have learned and something is revived or renewed. You might have got some positive points. So the summary is, the very first thing is keep your mind positive, be positive about everything. Second is two mudras we have learned, Prana Mudra and Surya Mudra. Third, some breathing practices to increase your lungs capacity. And fourth, we learned 3 important pranayama, Brahmari pranayama, Omkara chanting, and Mudra pranayama. So these are the things we learned today. Please do practice regularly or whenever you have time. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can reach me on my number through WhatsApp or direct call also. And finally, this Saturday, as I have already announced, we have a cosmic shielding workshop, 2 hours workshop only, where I'll teach you how to protect yourself from all kinds of negativity around you, and if you're a regular victim of negative psychic attacks. Okay, so you can attend that workshop also. If you want any more details, you can WhatsApp on my number or call me directly. And it's too late now, so I have taken extra 36 minutes. Hope it has helped you all. Thank you so much for joining once again, and have a great Shubhratri. Shabba Khair. Thank you so much. Thank you.